Hey guys, I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Hero and Airsoft Team Kilo23. Today I had the review of the M14 Special Ops, also known as the M14 Socom. Now, taking this thing out of the box, it is well balanced. It is a plastic body construction gun, so the main body is plastic, and the rest of the gun is a decent quality pop metal. Looks good, has a good finish. It's got a good weight to it, 6, 7, 8 pounds around there. Now, there are a number of pros and cons with this gun. Pros, FPS, accuracy, longer barrel, stuff like that. Got a rail on top here that's really helping for getting optics on this thing right away if you want an optic, other than the iron sights. But I have 3 gripes about this gun, things I do not like. The front sling loop does wobble everywhere. The body itself has some flex to it, so if you're holding it on the field and you're holding it pretty rigid, there is some flex between where you hold the gun, the pistol grip stock right here, and the front of the gun where you put your left hand if you're right-handed. Additionally, the fake bolt here does rattle around, so that's going to be rattling around quite a bit on the field if you're running. It's kind of a dead giveaway. So, with those 3 things out of the way, this is actually a pretty nice rifle. Let's get down on the table and check out everything it comes with, and we can go over the entire weapon. The M14 Special Ops really does come with everything you need to get started playing Airsoft. The gun comes with a 470 round high capacity magazine, a standard wall charger with a mini Tamiya plug, a long cleaning rod so if you need to clean your barrel or unjam your gun you can do that, an olive drab colored sling. I really don't recommend using this, the gun is a little heavy for its hooks, it can break. And finally, an 8.4 volt nunchuck battery with a mini type Tamiya connector. Alright, now we have everything that it comes with out of the way, we can talk about the operations of the weapon. To gain access to the battery compartment, simply open up the back plate and open the trap door. Inside, you have a mini type Tamiya connector that is perfect for the battery that it comes with. Now up inside of here, there was quite a bit of foam. I did have to remove some because the battery was a little tight in there. It could cause damage if you're trying to pull it out and put it in. So I really recommend you guys remove one of the layers of foam just to keep your battery safe. The rear sling hook is just located right in front of the battery compartment. You can hook your rear sling point right there. The grip itself is really comfortable, it's just the right size, so if you have a big hand it's not too slender, and if you have a small hand it's not too big. The safety mechanism of the gun is right in front of the trigger. Simply flip it forward to take it off safe, flip it back to put it on safe. The safety mechanism itself does have a little loop through it, so if you want to put a lock there of some kind, like a padlock, you're welcome to. Obviously, to fire the weapon, you simply pull the trigger. It's a pretty short trigger pull, not much of a spring behind it. The selector switch is on the right side of the weapon. It is a little loose, and it doesn't click into place too much, but you simply flip it to turn it from semi to full auto. Now on other versions of the rifle, like the Classic Army and G&G models, you do have to pull the bolt back to access the hop-up, but with these Cyma or Tokyo Marui style M14s, there is nothing under here, it's just for fun. You can sling it forward all you want, it's not going to break. It does have a very pleasing sound. You get a lot of fun out of that. Now on this specific M14, the bolt catch does work. Simply press it down when the bolt is locked, and tap it, it'll go slinging forward. Just in front of the bolt release on the left side of the rifle, there's a small screw hole here, so if you want to mount an optic rail on top, you're welcome to. The rear sight is adjustable for windage and elevation. You can move it up quite a bit, move it back down, and move it left and right. Just in front of the rear sight is a small notch here. You can attach a rail here if you can find one. Now the entire body is nicely textured. There isn't much of a seam line on top or on bottom. You can grip it anywhere and it feels great. There is some special texturing where you're supposed to hold it on the handguard and on the pistol grip. Now just in front of the trigger assembly, you have the magazine well and magazine release. It's very much like an AK. You simply roll it in and it clicks into place. To release it, press the tab forward and roll out. Now obviously a couple of rounds are going to fall out. The magazine itself is pretty easy to operate, just like any other high cap. Has a large trap door in the back, so you have plenty of room to feed your ammo. Simply pour your ammo in here, close it, wind the dial forward on the bottom, and your ammo will flow up through the top nozzle here. Just in front of the magazine well is the hop-up dial. You can turn it left or right to adjust your hop-up. It clicks nicely into place so it's not going anywhere. Now of course on top you have an optics rail here. You can mount any kind of optic you want, small scope, red dot sight, little magnifier. Just about anything works really well on here. Directly below that you have your front sling loop. You can attach your front sling there. It does wobble around quite a bit, so remember, it is going to make some noise when you're running on the field. The flash hider has a pretty large orange plug on here. It is glued on. I highly recommend you leave it in place for law enforcement purposes. Now, chronoing the gun with .25 gram rounds. With .25 gram rounds, the gun is shooting about 300 to 310 feet per second, which means it'll shoot about 340 to 350 feet per second with .2s. Now we can test the stock rate of fire on the gun with the stock 8.4 volt battery. The M14 is getting about 10 rounds per second on the stock 8.4 volt battery. Alright, let's go ahead and test the accuracy of the Special Ops M14, testing at 50, 100, and 150 feet. Right now we're at the 50-foot range. At 50 feet you're going to hit your target every time. Excellent accuracy. Alright, the M14 Special Ops at 100 feet. At 100 feet, the accuracy is still pretty good. Had a few flyers, a couple left, couple right, but overall, pretty good accuracy. Finally, the M14 Special Ops at 150 feet. Surprisingly good accuracy at 150 feet. Just about every round hit the target, had a few flyers left and right, but still excellent accuracy. Now, you can check out the M14 Special Ops at AirsoftThero.com. Runs for about $250. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Hero and Airsoft Team Kilo23. Go be the Airsoft Hero on your field.